Cool. I got one bite of my breakfast left. So
All right, breakfast. It's fucking 1 o'clock.
intermittent fasting, dickhead.
Is that what you call sleeping in and being a lazy bum?
I got up at 10, but I was up till 4.
God damn. What were you doing?
I went to play Magic with Isaac, and then fucking.
That's probably the nerdiest thing you've said on this podcast.
Hell yeah, dude! My girlfriend's out of town. She don't come back till tonight, so I'm like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, I was out till 1 picking up the kid. I thought he was going to get off a lot earlier, so I left the comedy thing and then got there, and he ended up not getting out till 1. So I slept in my freaking car in the parking lot waiting for him. Kind of slept. I can't really get comfortable in my car.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah. Perils of the stepdad, man. You know it.
Hell yeah.
Going and picking up kids from shit.
I know. That's exactly how my life is now.
Yeah, well, that and working out, apparently. I can even tell in your face that you're losing.
Yeah, I feel like my face doesn't look as like swollen.
Rotund.
Yeah, that too.
I've dropped like 7 pounds since being on the Adderall, but I haven't been working out at all yet. I need to start my running again, but I got all sorts of old man issues.
I weighed myself the other day, and here, let me see. What was it? I weighed myself the other day, and it was 228.6. I weighed myself today.
I wish I could be that weight.
I weighed myself today, and it was 226.6.
I hate you so much right now.
That was
How
Thursday.
tall are you? How tall are you, though?
5'8", 5'9".
Oh, see, I'm 6'1". So I will be lucky if I can get down to 220 again.
I'm trying to get down to 200.
Yeah. See,
ideally, I would love to get down to like 185. 185, I would.
You'd have to be like jujitsu and the shit out of things. But yeah, no, I need to get down. But that makes me think about. I don't know if that's the best segue, but that makes me think about one of the biggest comics I know.
Hell yeah.
Although he's completely fine with it. He likes making jokes about it himself. So let's see if we can give Ray Jubela a call.
Hell yeah.
He has a
dude, that breakfast was good as shit, though.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, guys. What's up?
What's up, Ray? Man?
Como está?
I think muy bien is the only thing I know to say after that.
I don't know. It's the only thing I know how to say in Spanish.
Yeah. It's three white guys trying to speak Spanish. Probably not the best stuff.
Yeah, I go into a Mexican place. They just know to bring me food. It's fine.
Hell yeah.
They don't try locking the doors when they see you coming.
They're just like muy gordo and just bring me everything on the menu.
Hell yeah. They're like, one of everything special. You're like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. I
mean, they've actually named it the Jubela. That's the
Ooh.
Senor Jubela.
Oh my goodness. What's up? What's going on, guys?
I don't know, man. I've been trying to see how everybody's doing. I figured we'd give you a call and see how things are.
You know what? I'm getting by. I'm trying.
Looks like you got a haircut during COVID, at least.
I had to, dude. I let my hair grow like 18 months, and
Jesus.
And it was like, like I don't know how women do it, because I was like I'd be sleeping and I'd feel like I was being attacked, like there was something crawling on my face, and it was my hair, And
Deez had that problem not too long ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I went an entire year without cutting my hair.
Oh, dude.
And, what all it took was like when I did that, I did a show in Richmond, and I saw pictures of how crazy my hair looked after the show, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" I was like, "Dude, I look so weird."
Well, I don't mind having my hair long. There's just a point where you just go, I can't do this anymore, and I refuse to wear my hair in a man bun. I flat out refuse. I don't care what it takes. I will not.
Depending on how much hair you have, it could be like a man loaf rather than.
Oh, dude, it's just every time I see a
guy with the one giant dread.
I would do that before I would go with a man.
You should totally one dread. You look like Kid and Play or whatever. Hell yeah.
I'll do the high top fade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't think my hair it will stand up quite that way.
But you put enough shit in it, it'll do anything you want it to.
Be amazing like that. But other than that, man, just getting out, trying to do as much comedy as possible, trying to make people laugh.
Did you have a day job that you do, or?
Sadly, yes.
Did you get screwed on that at all?
No, as a matter of, well, I kind of no, because one, I can do my job from home, so I work from home now. which has its benefits. I did get screwed a little bit. It's like my company decided to cut salaries because we needed to get by, and really it was just to
Cut salaries.
they just wanted to take money. Yeah, they just wanted money to do their little bidding. They eventually gave it back, but it was, you know how corporate America is. They're like, we got to protect our bonuses.
Oh yeah, dude, that's what it's all about.
Wait, you get bonuses? Yeah. What the shit?
No. The executives get bonuses.
Oh yeah, well,
we don't get shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's always the people higher up that are like, you guys got to do this, this, and this, and you're like, all right, cool. Are you doing that? And they're like, no, we're just chilling at home.
Oh God,
I got written up at work because I got caught on camera before we opened the store without my mask on, and it was me and two of my managers got written up for it. And I'm like, bro, we work together 5 days a week. We've
caught
all
COVID from each other already.
Yeah, it's like a dirty cesspool of like fucking germ fucking. And they're like, you took your mask off. We gotta send. They sent HR to the store to like watch us to make sure that we were adhering to COVID standards and shit. And the lady came in, walked around, was there for like 30 minutes, walked outside, talked to our district manager, came back in for a few minutes, and then she was just gone. And I'm like, all right, what the fuck?
You guys were good, right?
Yeah, but then after that, it was like my manager pulled me in the office like a day or two later and was like, came in, I gotta write you up. And I was like, dude, before you explain or say anything, I was like, I hope you know this is fucking dumb. This is the dumbest shit. And he was like, no, I get it, man. I get it. And he was like, but like, I just got to tell you. And I was like, dude, you don't have to say a word. I was like, I think it's dumb. And I'm going to continue. I was like, I'm going to go back on the floor now. Just put it in my file that I said, this is stupid. And I'll catch you later. And he was like, all right, man. That was it.
So when everything hit the fan, how long were you out of comedy? Like how long were you not doing stuff? I know you're kind of like Nick. You grind it hard. Like you go out and get everything you can.
Yeah, I'm believing that. I stopped for obviously the initial phase. Everything got canceled. I lost so many gigs. Like it's really sucked because I was.
Yeah, you were traveling to like Ohio or something.
I did that. I actually did that after the pandemic, but I was finally getting to the point where I was getting some really good bookings and getting paid gigs and then if COVID happened, I mean, I think it wiped out like 12 paying gigs. I mean, nothing substantial, but just
money's money.
Yeah. And so I didn't do anything for March and I didn't do anything for most of April. And then I was like, all right, let me try the Zoom shows. And I did the Zoom shows for a little bit and they just, God bless those people for doing it. I'm the people do Zoom show. I have nothing against you. Matter of fact, I'm in a Zoom comedy festival coming up here in a week, but God, it is so different.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
It is because as comics, we're so used to feedback, whether it's laughs or booing, and we're also trained that when you tell a joke and there's just silence, that's bad.
Yeah.
Well, now you go on Zoom where everybody has their mics on mute and you tell a joke to just an empty void.
Yeah.
I got a corporate gig that paid me and the guy said, I want you to do 25 minutes. Great. And he had all his associates on, about 100 people, and they all had their mics off. So I'm just telling jokes and most of them had their cameras off too. So I'm just telling jokes to this black void and I'm getting no feedback at all. And when I finished, the guy comes on, he goes, Ray, that was great. And I'm like, was it?
Really?
Right. That moment where you're like, wouldn't know, couldn't tell. You're like, all right.
I mean, he paid me, so it was good enough.
Yeah. We did a couple. I've done a couple where like one or two people will leave their mics on so you can hear them laugh. But that's usually comic shows, like where like it's a workshop or something where the other comics know that you need feedback. Like they're the ones who pay attention to that. But anything like that where people call in or Zoom in and they're not comedians, it's dead air. It's so brutal. Like it is. I haven't done a whole lot of them, but
I've seen both sides of it though. Like I've seen where you're doing like open mics with other comics and they're all muted.
Well,
cameras off and shit because it's like a bunch of people.
It depends on the level of comic thing, I think, too, because
it's also like a lot of people that are sitting at home being like, I don't really care what's going on, but I just want to get the reaction for when I do my 4 minutes of jokes.
Yeah, some people think it's helpful, and other people think it's just something to do.
Yeah.
Like people like Winston grinds it on Zoom constantly, but he's turned, just like everything else he does, he's turned it into an art form. Like he knows where to get the people, how to get the timing. But he's been doing it nonstop since we had to lock down. So
yeah, you know, the funny thing is if you've ever been to an open mic where an only comics show up, you're used to that anyways, because comics generally aren't going to laugh. But
you'll still get some feedback from some comics, like because there's comics that know you need that, and they'll be like, ha, ha, and they give you one of those, so you know that you're at least like not tanking on the jokes. That was one of the things I had to learn.
And the dogs did not agree with you.
Apparently, I clapped and all hell broke loose.
Holy shit! I didn't even realize he was sitting under the table.
Are those dogs attached to a clapper? Is that how that works? You clap and they immediately
Robo
have to go
dogs.
off? Yeah.
It's just one dog, also, for the record. And he's small.
Scared the shit out of him.
But it's I'll tell you, and again, I'm not everybody's doing what they have to do during this time, and I'm all for people being safe. But I remember there's one open mic run by these guys out of Chicago, I think, really cool guys, and they do it on a Sunday night, and they'll have 75 comics
on the
Zoom thing.
Jesus.
And it kind of starts late, so I'll never forget. I was on this, and I look at the list, and I'm like 60th.
Jesus. Wait, they had 70 comics to go on?
Yeah.
I thought it was just, holy shit.
No,
that's overkill. Like, you can't.
And I actually left it on, and I went downstairs and I watched TV and I got something to eat and I just chilled for like a couple hours. I come back, I still got 10 more comics to go. I'm Jesus. Like, wow. I think I went on about 2 a.m. And I think that was the last time I said I can't do the Zoom open mic.
I saw someone that did like a 24-hour Zoom mic, like a lot, like just 24-hour.
Well, they did a thing like that on with like big comics to raise money for out of work comics. Remember that? Like right when the thing first started.
Yeah, well, this was open mic comics.
Oh, well, I watched that thing for a couple of hours. I think it was on like HBO or I don't remember what it was on, or net. I don't remember what it was on. It was just a YouTube thing.
Yeah,
it was just a YouTube thing. And you call in and donate and watch. And there were a couple good like things, but there were also some comics that were like big comics that like pack arenas, and it was like you were talking to them like corporate America. Like they had nothing to do. It was more of an interview for them than a chance to do comedy. But there were other people that were doing comedy for to raise money or whatever. It was weird. It was like, yeah, well, my name's big enough. I don't need to actually tell any jokes.
Why would they waste good material on a
Zoom
thing,
but there's people that like those guys. Like I feel like they're. I don't know. Different people have different opinions on that. But if comics get that big, like if they're so big that they can do that sort of thing, it should be in their wheelhouse to just like throw out some one-offs. You know what I mean? Not stuff they're going to put in a special or something. But typically, those guys are funny people regardless. So to just not even bother just seemed like, yeah, I'll just give you my name so you can try and raise money. But it was weird. But I mean, I watched it. It was fun. It was so early in the thing that it was like, oh God, I hope this isn't what life becomes.
I did a fundraiser for a buddy of mine from Maryland that I met through doing all the Zoom shit. He's like an alderman in Maryland, and he had there was like a fundraiser. His had like 100 people there, and it was like senators. There was like a senator, the like governor of whatever, or like there was public figures
on a Zoom thing.
Yeah,
and you were on it.
Yeah, it was
holy
insane.
Christ.
It was insane, but I did.
That's why they extended the lockdown.
Yeah. They actually blocked off the border to Virginia. That when they did that, they were like, "Nope, no one from Virginia allowed in Maryland."
We're gonna take the V out of the DMV.
No, I mean, again, I hate talking bad about it necessarily because I realize it's just people doing what they need to do to keep going.
Well, honestly, all the people we've talked to that have done them, they say the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they don't they understand why people are doing it. They don't like it. Nobody really likes it. I can't imagine anybody's like, oh, thank God that real comedy stopped. I can do this Zoom thing now. I don't think anybody thought that way.
I don't think there's anyone out there that's like, man, I hope comedy never comes back. I
I hope I can just do this forever. No. Yeah, no, it's it's a means to an end, and it's almost like pouring a cap full of water on a dying plant. It'll help, but it's not gonna let it survive for long.
I think the only thing you got to be careful with, especially with if people who are doing majority Zoom stuff right now, is that when they do go up live, they're going to be rusty as hell.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the first time I did a live show, the first venue to open up around here was a place called Second Chance Saloon that's sadly closed, but it was my favorite workout room, and I did so bad, but I didn't care because it just felt so good to be standing on a stage with a microphone in my hand.
Oh yeah.
And that's what, and I kind of decided then I'm just going to try and find as much live comedy as I can that's safe. And that's when I started traveling to Ohio a lot, Pennsylvania.
Well, I do know that now that we're a year and some change past when the initial lockdown is, the people that I've seen, I should say the majority of the people that I've seen that are trying to bring live stuff back are at least attempting to do it as safe as possible.
Yeah.
The guests are the ones who fuck it up because, telling everyone to wear your mask when you're not at your table and they don't do it just because, fuck it, I'm in a bar.
Yeah.
It's like, I've seen comics call people out.
Absolutely. And I've seen, I've seen it both ways. I think the bookers I've worked with have all tried to do things right. And that's great. I'll tell you one thing I've kind of started to get used to is the outdoor shows.
Yeah.
That was
honestly,
weird
when we did the Busky one, you were on the Busky outdoor one.
That was great.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to try and bring that back. I think it needs to come back only because
you fit more people for sure.
Yeah, well, yes and no. So I talked to the owners because Ray, I don't know if I told you this, but I stepped back from Busky so I could start working at Sandman. But congrats. Thank you. But I talked to the owners and the new hosts and was like, what would you guys like to do? Like from the owner's standpoint and from the host standpoint, I was like, I loved the outdoor show. It worked really good. We basically have a stage set up. Everything's good to go.
Your setup is awesome. That setup was awesome.
Yeah,
I really did.
I feel like we could have more people out there. However, like the owners were concerned because we were really fudging the property line by doing what we were doing, and they were concerned because we spaced all the tables out and everything, but so many people were showing up that they were lining up around the outside,
right,
or along the side, and they weren't maintaining any sort of distance. And that was what concerned them. They were worried that someone would get a picture of that, or somebody would say something like, you guys say you're being safe, but then you see all these people say, and that's the thing, like you can't police.
Yeah, but you can't worry about like every minute detail. There's no.
I know.
Point.
Well, and that's the thing though, for something like that show, that's one of the reasons that show did so well is I tried to worry about every single thing I could because I didn't want any blowback on the business. Cause if it does, then we don't have a place to do it.
Sure, I get that.
I asked them and said, what do you think? And they were like, well, the way we're doing the inside one right now, because in the inside one, we got a plexiglass box and the tables are all spaced. And it works, but it would be so much more interactive if we could do it outside again.
Oh, yeah.
Because the inside one, dude, I couldn't hear the low laughter. Like sometimes you'll get a couple chuckles and you're like, oh, okay, well, at least that got that. But when you're in this plexiglass box, you can't hear shit from the audience basically unless they're extremely loud.
Wow.
And it's different. Like it's not horrible, but it's different and it takes some getting used to.
It's like telling comedy in a pillowcase.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's almost like telling comedy where everyone is wearing a mask, where you can't really see their facial expressions. You can't tell if they're laughing much because it's muffled. And that's what the plexi does. Like you can see them, but hearing them and the interaction that we're so used to is the part that really kind of sells it.
Yeah,
I think outdoor shows do good for that.
I think as comics too, it has made us have to adjust to what we hear back from the people watching the show. Like because when you do an outdoor show, you might be getting huge laughs, but you can't necessarily tell. I mean, it's not like Zoom where you're just seeing nothing, but it's just as hard to hear the laughter at an outdoor show, but at least you're seeing faces and you're seeing, so you're keyed more on, like last night we were at Intermission Brewery. Same deal. There's people in the back. I could hear the people laughing up front, but I couldn't hear if there was any laughter in the back. So I'm looking for more of their facial expressions and stuff like that. And
and the sound traveling great distances, depending on how many people are there too. You could make a quip about something and the people up front laugh, and then you don't hear the people in the back until you're midway through your next sentence. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not that bad, but like there's a timing issue. That's why one of the things with like when comedy is in a tight room with a low ceiling and everybody's packed in and it's real intimate, it's a much different feel than doing it out in the alley of behind the alley of a bar or something.
Right.
Like it is different. We're having to deal with all these different adaptations
absolutely.
of it, but it's better than nothing.
It's better than, I was gonna say
it's also better than Zoom.
Nothing.
So
hey, I think it's people have shown a lot of ingenuity.
Oh yeah,
I really do. I think that's been cool. I think it's going to help comedy in the future because, quite frankly, now it's going to open up options.
Yeah,
to perform.
People are going to make some sort of hybrid of what we've been.
Exactly.
Like, no one would have thought in previous years that anyone would want to look out their window. Like one of the coolest ones I ever heard of was in New York. There was a dude who he was in like a lower building. Like his building was only like 4 stories, but the buildings around that building were all like 7 stories and up. So he went around and he like flyered these people's apartment buildings and said that he was going to do a comedy show on the roof of the short building. And all these people opened their windows and like sat on their balconies and watched this dude do a show, almost like it was a theater. I can see that being some sort of thing in the future, like even after COVID, because like people want entertainment and now they realize there's even newer ways to get that entertainment in person. And that kind of thing is just crazy to me. Like they would be able to do that and pull it off. And it went well. You know what I mean?
I think New York really pushed that. Like New York.
New York was definitely
so many rooftop shows and park shows and whatever. All these like
New
random
York
spots
because it was struggling. I was talking with some friends up there, and I know a lot of them were just finding nothing.
Yeah,
and
I know a lot of people that moved out.
Yeah,
because of it.
Yeah, and then they started doing the park shows and things like that, and then the dynamic changed a little bit too because. I had a buddy of mine who was running a really popular Central Park show, and all he do is just,
before the pandemic or during? Oh, okay.
And they would just go to one of the entrances at Central Park with a little speaker and a microphone and do the set. And he was getting some really good comics. I mean, he got Mark Norman to come out. I mean, Mark Norman is a grinder. He takes pretty much anything, but they got all these really great comics. And so I hit him up and he told me, hey, if you want a spot, come let me know. So I hit him up. I said, hey, I'd love to come up there. And he goes, Ray, I'd love to have you, but if I book anyone from outside New York City, they're going to have my head. There's so many comics here looking for work. And I completely understood. I think, they've done a lot of cool things with outdoor stuff. Backyard shows, people just setting up seats in their backyard and doing it. I mean, those can be a ton of fun.
And what's funny about that is before the pandemic, I was like, before everything hit, I was like a year and a half in, and I actually live out in the middle of nowhere, but have had parties at my house where I do something weird. Like we had a lip sync battle one night because I've got a pool and everything. We got like a whole patio set up, and I had a lip sync battle. And we had a bunch of people come out and had a mic, and you performed and goofed around. It was just something to do. And I thought, oh shit, like it'd be cool to have like a backyard comedy show here, because I kind of have the setup for it, and it'd be like a comedy show pool party. Now it's like, shit, I really could do that, and people would come more now than they would have back then, because this is pre-pandemic, so it was like just a weird idea, and back then it was just an odd thing to think about. Now it's like second nature to everybody, because Because I mean, I've heard of like 3 backyard shows coming up like in this month because the weather's getting better. So
you're definitely the guy to pull it off though too, because you do really well as far as like getting people out.
Booking stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me on this podcast, Nick.
Nick, how many times does he pull that humble brag? I have a pool in my backyard.
Dude, he always likes to let me know because I tell him I hear gunshots outside, and he's like, well, I have a pool and a pig. And
I do have, but I also hear gunshots because people hunt all the way around my area.
Mine is a little different. People hunt each other. Yeah,
yours is different. They're hunting each other.
Hey, sometimes you gotta shoot something.
Now, I can say I have a pool in my backyard, but I didn't say what kind. It could be inflatable. It could be above ground. It could be an old tanker truck that I just converted. You don't know.
On some Joe Rogan shit. Sure, I get you. Dude, I went to the store the other day and I saw ground bison and I was like, damn, I'm almost tempted to buy it and make burgers.
It's really good.
Just to see what Joe Rogan feels like.
Oh, I didn't know Joe Rogan was into that, but no, it's really good.
Actually, it is. Yeah, it's there's no fat, so you gotta help it a little bit, but it's actually really good.
Yeah,
good for you too.
Yep.
I mean, Lord knows everybody comes to me to get their health advice.
I was gonna say,
it's just this magnificent.
Hey, whatever
body.
You told Big Scotty worked for him. So
I do. I get a kick when guys like, yeah, I lost 50 pounds. I'm like, fuck, I gained 50 pounds just walking here. Like, come on now. Like 50, God, that wouldn't even make a dent in me. Come on, man. No, I always get a kick out of that one. I mean, I hate to shit on anybody for their weight loss, but
Deez is laughing too hard at that because he's actually losing weight now too. He's been
I've been
working out and doing the thing.
No, I used to be a lot bigger. I used to weigh like over 500 pounds, and I've actually lost well over 200. But I'm so short, I just still look like this fat thing, which. I don't know, this round little, I'm like completely round and like I'll tell you how bad it is. I have a beautiful girlfriend, dude. You wouldn't, I mean, honestly, if you saw her, your first reaction is gonna be, what the fuck is she doing with him? And that's my reaction every time I see her. I'm like,
how much are you paying her? I'm
like, sweetie, you could do so much better. What is up with that? But it's but I mean, I've told people before, if I lost all that weight, I don't know what I'd do because I've been big my whole life. I don't think I'd even recognize myself, and I don't know if I want to deal with that.
I lost.
Respect that.
I lost about 60 or so pounds a few years ago, because my wife was like, "No, we're not doing this anymore." Because I was bringing her lunch, like I was bringing her Wendy's 3 times a week at work and stuff, and like she gained so much weight when we weren't first together, but. Basically, she says I made her fat, so she blamed me for it. So I had to do whatever she wanted to do to get thinner, and I lost like 60 pounds. And I see all these pictures of me from that time, and I swear to God, I lost weight, but my head did not. So I look like a fucking olive on a toothpick. And I was like, I don't like looking like that. That's the excuse I've been giving her. But I have to start dropping again. What?
Have a smaller head.
Yeah, fuck you. I can't with all this brain.
No.
Well,
so I feel like there's this weird weight where I look balanced, and I don't want to go carrot top direction where, just, and I don't want to be,
dude.
My biggest. Cause I don't feel good when I am, but I know people that are like, there's a girl that runs marathons with my wife, and she's like 400 pounds, 350, something like that. She's just a big girl.
Body shaming her, Carlton.
I'm not body shaming her. She's like, it's inspiring that she goes out and does these things. She went to Germany and did a freaking marathon. It took her forever, but she did it. Like, you know what I mean?
Someone needs to tell her that's what a car is for. I'm not going to run 26 miles anywhere. Okay. I don't care.
Well, she doesn't run it. She
jogs
it.
Yeah. Again, I
own a car. Does it. So
I can set a world record in 26 miles. I can be there in 26 minutes. I don't need 2.5 hours to go a small distance away. I had people still to this day that like encourage me to like get like gastric bypass surgery.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to do it because every person I've ever seen who got gastric bypass surgery looked like they're dying. I mean, just
they do look deflated. I will say they look like a balloon that you let the air out of.
Right. And then they have the surgery to cut all that shit off. And then you get what I called Al Sharpton syndrome. Because if you've seen Al Sharpton,
Oh yeah,
he is a toothpick, but his head is bigger than the screen that we're all in, and he looks like a Pez
Al Roker's
dispenser.
the same way.
Immediately all I could think of was Al Roker.
Yeah,
I was my girlfriend and I were watching something with him in it the other day, and I was like, I liked him better when he was fat.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. Some people that
absolutely
not only is that their personality, like I've known people, like I have a friend, I won't say names. I don't know if that person watches this podcast, but
no one watches this.
Shut up. They will now that we got Ray on. No,
damn right. I hope
she was, damn it, I said she. Anyway, she was a big girl.
Oh.
Shut up. She was a really big girl, and she was like fun and friendly, and we hung out all the time. And I don't know whether she had surgery or what, but she got in shape and got like mean about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like those people that are like, that
now
I did this, so you should fucking do it too. Not the people who are like, I'm just happy I did this for myself. She became one of those militant people that was just like an asshole about it.
So she became like the David Goggins of
well, and then it was like, you're kind of a bitch to hang out with. Like you used to be cool. You know, like, and it was, I mean, even I was at the time, I was like working out and running and stuff too. So I was taking better care of myself, but she was just an asshole about it. So it was like, how did losing weight make you turn into a bitch? Like, it's like, was the fat keeping all the bitch in? Like, I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, it was absorbing it.
Yeah. So some people like, the
powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah. Like they just become different people. So
see, fat people are the most fun to hang out with because we've just given up on life. So so we don't give a shit. Like want to go get stone cold drunk? Yeah, let's fucking do it. I don't care.
We can do it right here.
High? Sure. You know, hey, you want to try these drugs? Of course I do.
Not going anywhere.
Dude, my girlfriend and I watch fucking 1,000 Pound Sisters, and that shit is hilarious to watch. Because I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. There's people out there that eat worse than I do. All right.
Well, okay. And speaking of that, okay, you know, remember Honey Boo Boo?
Hell yeah.
And her mom. And
yeah, they got kicked off TV because her mom was in carnal relations with someone who was like a registered sex offender. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And now she has a show called now that she has a show called Mama June from hot not to hot or something like that. They have a very loose definition of hot.
Yeah.
She also still has that fucking wonky eye and them janky teeth. So it's like, nah, you're good.
Yeah. On the flip side, Honey Boo Boo, the poor child is just getting bigger by the moment.
I know.
And why doesn't somebody rescue her? Like that poor little girl, man.
Not little girl, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
That poor husky child.
Fucking husky. I hate. Oh my God. As a kid, I used to get that. My mom was like, "You're not fat. You're husky." I'm fucking fat, Mom. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I tell my girlfriend all the time, I'm a husky boy.
Ugh. Because as a kid, I don't know how old you guys, but as a kid, when you went to buy pants for fat kid, you had to buy husky size.
Oh yeah.
Carlton knows all about life in the 50s.
Yeah. Fuck you,
Mr. Sandman.
I wasn't from
me
the 50s.
A job.
Anyway,
70s and 80s.
Well, now that things are getting back to normal and we're doing stuff again, it's good seeing you out on the circuit.
You too, guys, man. I'm looking forward to see you guys out more and. I'm looking forward to seeing Sandman Comedy Club, dude.
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna get rock and roll when it starts, man. It's gonna be hitting the ground.
That's exciting.
It's gonna be hitting the ground running, but you can, move at your own pace.
Brisk walk.
Right?
No, I actually I talked to Winston Hodges the other day, and he told me he had some dates already there. I was like, that's awesome. Yeah. He's pretty excited about that. I have him on my show next week, so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it was good talking to you.
You too, guys. All right.
We'll see you later.
Take care. Okay.
Take it easy, man.
All right.
Later.
Bye-bye.